Good afternoon. This is State Representative Michael Dembrow from Northeast Portland to Parkrose, from the city of Maywood Park to the heights of Rocky Butte, the great district of House District 45. And today is June 3rd, and we are now officially in our last month of this 75th Assembly. And, up to our noses in bills and decisions and difficulties. It's a real roller coaster, I can tell you that. But there are a lot of bright points, and one of the real bright points for me is when I hear and get constructive advice from constituents, especially when they're under the age of 12. And I want to share with you some advice that I got recently from a group of fourth graders at the Fernwood campus of Beverly Cleary School, that's in Portland in my district. And they have been taught for the last few months by a student teacher whose name is Emily Martin. She's been working with Mrs. Tanner, fourth grade teacher at that school. And they all wrote me letters of advice, and then they came in to visit me. I got to meet them all. They were sitting in the House chamber, and it was great meeting with them and answering their questions. I want to read a couple of their letters. They fell into two categories. The first set were giving me policy advice, and the second set were telling me what we should have as our state favorite things, and I'll get to those in a minute. But first, I want to give you an example of one of the letters that is a piece of policy. Dear Mr. Dembrow, my name is Nick McClellan, and I'm a fourth grader at Beverly Cleary School in Northeast Portland. My class is doing state testing for the second time this year. We have one more time to go. I dislike state testing because I don't know all the information yet, because we are not done with fourth grade curriculum yet. It makes me irritated and nervous. I think state testing should be only at the end of the year, so that teachers can spend the year teaching the regular curriculum. Then the kids would be more prepared and feel more confident. If the test is in the middle of the year, the kids might not know everything yet. I think that should be an option. There should be an option if you want to take it again. It would really show what kids do know instead of stuff they haven't learned. Some kids get really nervous about testing. Normally, they would have to do it 3 times, but this way they only have to do it once. Please consider changing the way Oregon does state testing. Remember that there are other ways to show what kids have learned besides testing. Ask my teacher. Sincerely, Nick McClellan. I think that is a very well-written and thoughtful and sensible letter. Now, the second one is also very thoughtful and great, but this falls into the category of giving us advice on state things. And I should say that let me first tell you that I got suggestions for our state bear, state singer, state cat, state amusement park, state dance move, state gem, state movie, state pet, state book, state sport, state TV show, state jewelry, state color, state lollipop flavor, state whale, state berry, state ice cream, state food. A lot of calls for things having to do with Lewis and Clark, the Lewis and Clark expedition. State dairy product, state pizza, state snake, state dessert, state hamster, state meat, and state dog. And here's one about a state book. Dear Mr. Michael E. Dembrow, hello, I'm Jillian Foley, a fourth grader from Beverly Cleary. Okay, well, I'll just get straight to the point. I love our state. It's just so beautiful with its rolling hills and clear streams. It all has all kinds of state things. It also has all kinds of state things. A state animal, a state flower, even a state mushroom. The only thing our state does not have is a state book. That's basically what I'm proposing, that we have Socks by Beverly Cleary to be our state book. Because having a state book would not only encourage kids to read more, it would also celebrate authors. All in all, I believe, and hope you do too, that having a state book would be a wonderful thing. Sincerely, Jillian Foley. P.S. Thank you so much for taking the time to read this letter. I appreciate it more than you can imagine. Um, Again, a beautifully written piece of advice, and not surprising that she would be a fan of one of our great writers, that is Beverly Cleary, after whom her school is named. Um, some people, we do from time to time in the legislature determine the state this or the state that. This year, we voted to approve the Dungeness crab as the state crustacean. And a lot of people made fun of that. But I I I feel really energized when these kids take something that's really important to them and they want it to be important to other people. And they're proud to be Oregonians. And whenever I hear these kinds of things, I just get really, it just makes me really happy. And I'm happy to share it with you. And hopefully I'll have some more happy news to share with you next week, but we'll see. Anyway, until then, take care.